If you've been spending your weekends lately perfecting your resume, tweaking every bullet point and sending it out to 50 jobs only to hear absolutely nothing back, I want you to stop for a second. Just take a breath, because the truth is, the problem isn't your resume, and it's definitely not your talent. You aren't doing it wrong, you're just playing a game that the world's biggest companies actually stopped playing back in 2024. I've been in this industry for 15 years. I've seen the boom times, I've seen the crashes, and I've sat on both sides of the hiring table. And what I'm seeing right now in 2026 is unlike anything else. The average job search for a white-collar role has stretched out to 25 weeks. That's over 6 months of silence, uncertainty, and stress. If you feel like you're shouting into a void, you're right. You are. See, 83% of global enterprises have fully handed over their hiring keys to autonomous AI. We aren't just talking about keyword scanners anymore. These systems are designed to filter you out before a human being even knows your name exists. In fact, 65% of companies now use systems that can autonomously reject you without a single human ever looking at your profile. Let that number sit for a second. It's why it now takes an average of 100 to 200 applications just to get one decent offer. The machine is the gatekeeper, and it's been programmed to look for something you probably haven't even put on your resume yet. So, if the traditional path is a dead end, what is the hidden logic that the top 1% of earners are using to bypass these filters entirely? Let me walk you through what's actually happening behind those closed boardroom doors. Right now, in boardrooms from New York to Singapore, there's a quiet, underlying panic. They aren't talking about it on the news yet, but it's all the C-suite can think about. It's called Q-Day. It's the moment quantum computers become powerful enough to make every piece of encryption we use today completely useless. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not a quantum physicist. Why does this matter to my career? Well, here's why. There's a strategy being used by bad actors right now called harvest now, decrypt later. They are stealing massive amounts of encrypted data today just to sit on it until Q-Day arrives. Fortune 500 firms are terrified. The average cost of a data breach is projected to blow past $5 million this year. Because of that, companies have increased their transition budgets for post-quantum cryptography by nearly 40%. They are desperate, and not just for security, but for what we call architectural immunity. They need to rebuild their entire foundation before the clock runs out in 2026. Here's where it gets really interesting. The people getting hired to fix this, they aren't all PhDs in physics. Most of them aren't. They are regular professionals, managers, architects, compliance officers, who figured out how to be what I call the linguistic bridge. They are the people who can translate the terrifying science of quantum risk into a language that a board of directors can understand and act on. The PQC market is exploding, hitting over $2 billion this year, and there's a massive seat at the table that is currently empty. And that seat has your name on it if you know how to claim it. I want to tell you about a guy I know. Let's call him David. David was a standard tech compliance officer, making about $160,000. Good money, but he was stuck. He was sending out resumes and getting ghosted just like everyone else. But then David saw the gap. While everyone else was rushing to learn how to prompt AI or write basic code, David spent 12 weeks focusing on crypto agility. He didn't learn the math, he learned the migration strategy. He learned how to move a company from old systems to the new NIST standards. Within 3 months, David jumped from that $160,000 job to a $340,000 role as a quantum risk auditor. He didn't become twice as smart. He just became 10 times as relevant. I've seen this play out 100 times. I saw a data science generalist get recruited by a top-tier hedge fund for over $400,000 in total compensation. Why? Because she knew how to manage the migration to quantum-safe models. There's a vacancy gap of over 2,000 specialized roles right now.
We are in a hyperseller's market. If you can show a company that you understand business continuity and how to protect their data from the Q-Day threat, the salary conversation changes instantly. We're talking 25% premiums over standard roles and retention bonuses that would make your head spin. If these success stories seem like outliers, I promise you they aren't. They are the new standard for an era where AI handles the tasks, but humans handle the strategy.
Now let's talk about that AI gatekeeper again. In 2026, AI is no longer just a tool you use. It's the filter that decides if you're a commodity or a strategist. If your resume looks like a list of tasks, I did this, I managed that, the AI sees you as a commodity, and commodities are easily replaced and easily ignored. But when you start using words like architectural immunity and migration governance, the algorithm flags you differently. It sees a strategist. See, AI has commoditized deep coding. Anyone can generate a script now, but AI cannot manage the risk of a 5-year migration project for a global bank. It can't navigate the politics of a boardroom panic. That requires a human who understands the why behind the how. This is the part most people have completely backwards. They think they need to compete with AI by being more technical. You don't. You compete by being more strategic. The demand for architects who can build systems that can swap encryption algorithms in 48 hours without downtime has tripled in the last 18 months. When I first saw the data on how much recruiters are struggling to find these people, it honestly changed how I think about the whole job market. The gap between a theorist who understands the physics and a strategist who understands the business. That gap is exactly where the $400,000 checks are being signed. Now, this is the part that changes everything. You don't need to go back to school for 4 years to cross that gap. So how do you actually do this? How do you cross that gap starting this week? I'm not going to give you vague motivation. I'm going to give you a roadmap. First, you need to change your label. Stop calling yourself a security lead or a developer. Start using the term hybrid architect. This signals to the AI and the recruiters that you understand both the legacy systems we're leaving behind and the quantum-safe future we're moving toward. Second, don't get lost in the physics. You don't need to understand Shor's algorithm. You need to understand the NIST standards. Specifically, look up FIPS 203, 23, 24, and 205. These are the finalized blueprints for the new world. If you can speak fluently about MLChem and MLDSA, you are already ahead of 99% of the candidate pool. Third, update your profiles to emphasize crypto agility. That is the ultimate career currency in 2026. Show that you know how to build systems that are flexible, not just secure. You don't need a PhD to save a Fortune 500 company's data. You just need a 12-week roadmap and the right vocabulary. Look, I know this feels like a lot. The job market is stressful and the technology is moving fast, but the panic you're seeing in the market, that's your opportunity. The budget is there, the seat at the table is empty, and the recruiters are desperate for someone who can lead the way. This isn't easy, but the people who figure this out, they're getting the callbacks, they're getting the offers, and you can too. It's time to stop applying and start migrating. I've seen you work hard now. Let's work smart. I'll see you out there.